The book of Revelation, the final book of the Bible, presents a vivid and often terrifying picture of the end times. Among its most enduring images are the four horsemen of the apocalypse, figures who symbolize God's judgment upon a sinful world. These horsemen, riding steeds of white, red, black, and pale green, represent conquest, war, famine, and death, respectively. Their emergence signifies the beginning of tribulation, a period of unprecedented suffering and upheaval. The white horseman, often interpreted as a false prophet or antichrist figure, appears victorious, wielding a bow but lacking arrows, symbolizing deceptive power. The red horseman follows, wielding a great sword, signifying widespread warfare and bloodshed. Next comes the black horseman, holding a pair of scales, representing famine and economic hardship. Finally, the pale green horseman, Death, rides forth, leaving pestilence and suffering in his wake. These four figures, etched into the collective consciousness of humanity, serve as a stark warning. They remind us of the potential for destruction and the consequences of straying from God's path. While their exact interpretation remains a subject of debate, their symbolism transcends cultures and time, serving as a potent reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present potential for chaos. The colors associated with the four horsemen are not arbitrary. They are deeply symbolic, each carrying specific meaning within the biblical context. Understanding these colors is crucial to grasping the full weight of the message being conveyed. White, the color of the first horseman's steed, often represents purity and righteousness. However, in this context, it signifies a deceptive peace, a false sense of security that precedes the coming storm. Red, the color of war and bloodshed, needs little explanation. It serves as a visceral reminder of the violence and destruction that accompany conflict. Black, the color of famine, evokes images of scarcity, desperation, and the breakdown of societal structures. Finally, pale green, the sickly hue associated with death, represents decay, disease, and the inevitable end that awaits all living things. These colors, when viewed through the lens of biblical prophecy, take on an even deeper significance. They become signposts, pointing towards potential events and serving as a warning to a world teetering on the brink. The Middle East, a region steeped in history and religious significance, has long been a focal point of geopolitical tension. From the ancient empires of Mesopotamia to the modern-day conflicts that dominate headlines, this volatile region seems perpetually embroiled in strife. Interestingly, the colors of many Middle Eastern flags, green, black, white, and red, directly correspond to the horses of the apocalypse, raising intriguing questions about the region's role in biblical prophecy. While these colors often carry cultural and historical significance, their presence in this context is hard to ignore. Could this be a coincidence? Or is there a deeper meaning, a connection to the ancient prophecies that speak of a time of tribulation and divine judgment? The recent history of the Middle East, marked by wars, revolutions, and humanitarian crises, seems to echo the very events foreshadowed by the Four Horsemen. While interpreting prophecy is a complex and often debated endeavor, the parallels between the symbolism of the Four Horsemen and the realities of the Middle East are striking. Understanding these connections is not about predicting specific events or inciting fear, but about promoting awareness and encouraging reflection on the state of our world. The message of the Four Horsemen is ultimately a message of warning and hope. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked greed, hatred, and violence. However, it also offers a glimmer of hope. By recognizing the signs of the times, by understanding the potential for darkness, we are better equipped to seek peace, pursue justice, and work towards a brighter future. The urgency of this message cannot be overstated. As we navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected world facing challenges like climate change, political polarization, and the threat of nuclear war, the need for understanding and cooperation has never been greater. The Four Horsemen may be harbingers of judgment, but they can also serve as catalysts for change, urging us to build a more just and compassionate world before it is too late.